Hello, we are here with Professor Matt Raymond, and I will have a lot of questions for you because it was a captivating speech, and you mentioned a few things that really I think that people would like to hear more about. So that's the opportunity we have here together. And I want to start by how men can really support women, because that was the title of your panel, and I want you to elaborate a bit on that.
Thank you. It's a great question, and I touched on a little bit in the talk about the fact that for men to truly support women, and for actually each human to truly support each human, we have to first understand them, and then once we understand them, we can accept them, and once we accept them, we can respect them. And so this is a really key fundamental part of the research we've done over many years. We have technology that we can touch on that's in 140 countries, and so we collect a lot of data and a lot of information to understand unique humans. And what we've found is that everybody's different, everybody's unique, and there's a reason why your husband talks the way he does, acts the way he does, thinks the way he does, and there's a reason why you do what you do, think how you think, and live how you live. And it's remarkable how when you actually start to understand that for the first time, it's like you put this lens on and suddenly you start to see someone for who they are and like, oh my gosh, that's their biology. That's their biology that has them do that. It's not because they're premeditated sitting in the corner trying to make this terrible or make this good. Everybody inherently are really amazing humans. Yeah. And we just have ways that we do things, which is interesting. So first thing, if you can understand why someone does what they do. So for us as men, we have the opportunity to understand who women are, why they do what they do. For us to actually understand that, we can accept that, whether we agree with it or not, we can accept that, and we can respect that. And respecting that means that without any judgment at all, we just respect that you are who you are and you do what you do because you are who you are. And so it's a really beautiful and powerful fundamental research that we've found. It actually sounds really obvious and common sense saying it out loud, but we now have so much data that just shows everybody's different, everybody thinks and acts differently and behaves differently.
And there's a reason for that.
And there's a reason for that. It's actually who they are. And if we could just understand people and support them in that, respect them in that, it's a really powerful shift for every relationship with yourself and with those women or men in your life.
Wow. So it's understand, accept
and
respect. Okay, all right. 3 takeaways up to now. Okay. And I want to also touch on the human intelligence, because this is quite, new, I think, for most people as a term. So can you elaborate a bit on that?
Sure, yeah. It's a very new thing in 2025, even though we've been doing it for about 22 years. And
22 years?
22 years.
Oh,
we started a long time ago. And it's helping to understand and quantify unique individuals. And I was diagnosed with a terminal illness in my 20s, and it was a very tough time for me. And I tried everything. I did every medication, every diet, every protocol, everything you could possibly do, and nothing worked for me. And I remember very clearly the day that they said, we're going to do a liver transplant. And I said, what's that going to do? And they said, we don't really know. So that was the moment. I remember actually the single worst day of my life was telling my family that I was going to die. And that changes everything for you if you've ever been through something like that, and you just see the world very differently. And so that's been my life's purpose and mission, is to help everybody else who is like me, who is different, to understand exactly who they are and exactly what's right for them. And it sounds so simple, just those 2 things, but it's actually very revolutionary. And so we've been building technology for a long time to support that, because it's impossible for a one-to-one approach, even if the best trained minds, in medicine, in health, in wellness, it's impossible for us to be able to understand all the different things that go into uniqueness. And so we've created some what we call human intelligence to help quantify you. So we can now use any smartphone to scan your body on the outside to understand you on the inside. And it's really quite amazing. It predicts your biology, which is the length of your colon, or the prediction of your heartbeat before we even measure it, through to the physiology, which is the function of your body. So what your hormones are doing, what your brain activity is doing, again, just through a smartphone camera on the outside with no invasive tests. But we also predict your psychology, which is how your mind works, how you think, act, and behave, but particularly around your personality, your character, your nature, again, just from the outside. So your biology predicting your psychology, and it means we can help you in so much depth to understand who you are at a very core level, from gene expression, which is the core basis of your genetics and how they express into who you are today.
Wow.
But it's very, very powerful. It's very unique for each individual, of course. And
Can
so
I ask something?
yeah.
Is this relevant to people like to do that themselves, or to make it as a form of psychometrics, or to kids maybe? I mean, what's the
Thank you.
where are you? At what stage?
It's a great question. So we actually have a whole group of organisations that are part of our journey. And so Shade Group is the name of our group of companies. And we actually operate in many different industries. And so the creation of a digital twin, which is what happens in that process when you scan yourself, it creates a 3D version of you that looks like you and talks like you and knows everything about you. And so we started in precision medicine to help, and we've shown a really just quite mind-blowing that we can reverse diabetes, we can reverse heart disease, reverse obesity, improve every wellness variable against international gold standards. We have our first paper that just got published showing an AI in a smartphone reversed cardiovascular disease. This is no doctors, no coaches, just a smartphone. We're just about to have our paper on diabetes published that shows the same. Really, really powerful, the game-changing things. So we started in medicine, but we're very passionate. Our actual mission is to change 8 billion lives. And so to answer that question, you have to think quite big. And I'm a futurist and consult with lots of governments around the world and United Nations World Health Organization. So we think quite big about solving problems over decades. And when you look at how do you solve for the future, you have to look at solving at our young humans that are growing up, which is our kids. And so we went back to say, can this technology apply to kids? And the answer is yes. And we're actually tracking that back now, where we have that technology accurate from 2 years old and above. And we work in education is one of our companies that works there. And we actually have the teachers that scan the kids to understand their inherent learning abilities, their learning methods, their learning styles,
capabilities,
learning environments that has them thrive. And it's just putting a different lens on how we've done life so far. And it's disrupting the whole way we actually think about the paradigm of who we are. And so, for example,
that may be a good thing.
I think it's a very important thing because, and we call it precision learning in school settings. And because we've had, all of us who are listening to this would have gone to school in the one classroom where you have 30 or 40 kids that sit there and the one teacher that just talks at you and teaches whatever they come out of their mouth. And maybe they talk a lot, maybe they don't, maybe they write on the board, maybe they have whatever they do. But we miss the whole point that everybody in the class is very unique, learns differently, and their behaviours are also very different. And so precision learning says we have our AI that scans the student, understands how they learn, helps actually translate how the teacher's speaking into a way that one person might need to hear auditory learner, another might be a visual learner, another kinesthetic learner. And it helps actually portray that information. It also helps the teachers to go through and write the entire year's curriculum based on national standards for their science classes, their drama. Helps pairs the kids based on their phenotype as to who's going to learn best in pairs in many different ways. So we have that, and we have that now down for early learning centres from 2 years old and up, primary schools, secondary schools, and we have tertiary educations now using it too.
This sounds revolutionary for sure, and very promising, I must say. And I want to also close with having your feedback on an experience of being part of Global Women Summit, and what is the essence of people coming together and exchanging ideas and projects and inspiration, and revolutionize businesses they are in. What's the value of that?
It's so valuable, and my first experience with the Global Women's Summit was last year, and this is my second time here. Last year was in New York, and now we're in London. And it's such a beautiful community because everybody's just so positive and everybody wants everybody else to succeed. And that's really something that we've learnt in our research about people, is there's some types of people who just like to do their own thing and are self-driven. There's other types of people who need other people to feed them. We usually call them introvert or extrovert. But either way, when people are together, there's a connection that happens. There's an electromagnetic field that we can actually measure and quantify, where everybody benefits regardless of how you are driven internally or externally. And so the power of community is so, so powerful that we've tracked and measured that and the health benefits of that, but also in success for business, in success for community support. And what I really love about how everybody's here is that all the speakers are supported and cheered and championed by everybody. And I've never, ever, ever seen anybody other than just, oh my gosh, amazing, cheering, celebrating and supporting. And that's so important for people, for their confidence, for their growth, but also while they're following them on Instagram and sharing about their books and all these great things that are happening. So I love the community here. It's so important for health and for success for business. And I'm really, just grateful to be part of this and to be able to share some of our work here, and to know it's also supported, and we're here to support everybody as humans in their way. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity, so thank you.
Thank you for being here with us and for sharing all these insights and for making, providing scientific data of the power of community, because, it's a different thing just to talk about it, but it's proven scientifically that no matter who you are and what works for you, this is good for our health and for our personality and also for our business. So thank you for bringing that up. It has been an absolute pleasure to share the stage with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.